Make a long story short, that was just something that happened to me in life. Like, yeah, my friends, like baby mama, called me and cursed me out because I called him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just because it's society doesn't make it right. For an example, Joker, like we all thought he was a bad person, but was he really a bad person? Society creates menaces. Or like the movie Catwoman, where we thought like this, like society would have thought, oh yeah, Cat, she's the problem, but she was probably the solution. That's what I'm saying. Notice when you are the problem, but notice when there's a probability that you might be solution. Anyways, so yeah, so that was a story that happened in real life. Now, society might have been like, oh yeah, side with her. Yeah, you should never been calling her man at 2 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I'm under the impression this is a person that just sent me a cash app when I was starving, and I'm talking to God like, yo, man, I wish it was some food. And then boom, poof, I get a cash app. Somebody sent me like money for food, or whatever, right? Now, I used to do therapy back in the day. I used to do therapy sessions. So they like the caption was like, when he sent me a message, he said he was depressed or something like that. Mind you, people in that state of mind, because I understand what it's like to be in that, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, that's probably the time that it's really kicking in. You know what I mean? So I'm calling him to tell him thank you and to check his mind state and be like, are you good? You know what I'm saying? Because someone who sends somebody a cash app, like, you know, and tells them I'm depressed, they're probably really depressed and need somebody to talk to, right? So I'm under that impression of like, bro, is you good? Like, bro, is you good? Like, you know, from that perspective, like, and you know, his baby mom cusses me out, so yeah. And then he like describes everything that he was going through in that situation, how she like talks down upon him and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I'm kind of looking at it from the perspective of like, dude, you're not all the way right. You know what I'm saying? She has a right to feel hurt and things of that nature. But it's like also the woman also has to take accountability and looking at herself of what type of situation did you allow yourself to be in to where you're in a predicament where you can't be. I mean, where you're in a predicament where you're expressing yourself outwardly to someone like that. That means that there is an active problem, is what the moral of the story is. Me reading in between the lines is seeing the fact that there is an active, actual problem in this dynamic, and it's not healthy. Anytime a woman goes out her way to express herself to another woman, her hurt, something's actually wrong. Yeah, no, that's not a joke. Like, something's actually wrong. It's not okay. Because I could feel her energy. Yeah. And I knew she wasn't really mad at me. And that's the moral of the story. And that's the positive part of the story, is I knew she was just hurt. She wasn't even mad at me. Like, I could feel her hurt.